Hi, Austin. Welcome in.
Hello.
Welcome to my table. It is so nice to review your writing with you. Have you ever had a writing conference before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so do you remember how we learned a couple days ago in class the importance of the revision process?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then I gave you an example of my sister and how I use the revision process with the writing. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So I read your story about the importance of learning and trusting others, and I really enjoyed how you pointed out not trusting others and what you learned from the DARE drug program about how bad smoking is. As you can see on my copy of your paper, I've made a couple of those notes and highlights for your revision to let you know what you can look over and add. And what are some of the common highlights, if you look, that I've made on your paper that you notice?
You marked it pink, and so I have to be more specific.
What are some of the things that I marked up in pink?
Whole bunch of things.
Yes,
Things.
like the word things.
Bad one.
Oh, okay. Yes, those are some great observations. I was wondering what you meant when you wrote things in your paper, the word things. What type of things do you mean?
Like learning things.
Okay. So what are some things that you want to learn?
Like math and like science.
Okay.
School
That
stuff.
that's great. I really like those ideas. Could you write that? Let me find you a pencil. Could you write that right here on your paper
Mm-hmm.
for me so that you can come back to it later? That's great. If you notice here in blue while you're writing, I've highlighted those slashes for you and a couple other things that you can go back and look at. Do you think that we could narrow right here things/subjects to just one word?
Why can't I use a slash?
Well, because this is a formal writing paper, so it is not appropriate to use slashes here, remember? And we're trying to make our writing longer, so it's going to help you to add a couple more words instead of just using a slash.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, like using or and, or like I said, narrowing it down to just one word right here. Does that sound good? Okay, perfect. And do you remember some transition words that we used a couple weeks ago that we learned about? Do you think we could probably use some transition words in our writing to help bulk it up and make it longer? Break it up into paragraphs.
I'm not good at that. What are some transition words I can use, and how do I know when to use them?
Okay, some transition words. Here, let me write it down on your paper. So some transition words we can use would be then, furthermore, first, next. And right here I have highlighted in yellow an example where you could probably use a transition word. So do not trust strangers. You wrote right here. We could use, for example, do not trust strangers, right? What do you think? Would, for example, be a good transition word for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Do you think we could probably add a couple more examples to our writing? Because I like your no smoking example, but maybe we could add a couple more reasons as to why we shouldn't trust strangers.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any more questions?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming, Austin. Come back to my table if you have any more questions or when you come back with your revision, just so I can look over it. Sound good? Okay, perfect. Have a great day, Austin.